There's a preview of some of the music to come. Circle November 11th, Ordway Theater in St. Paul, Minnesota for the Latin Explosion, featuring Flora Purim and Airto, along with Mongo Santa Maria and Pancho Sanchez. A grand super cast representing the Afro-Cuban and Brazilian. And on the line with me, by way of the West Coast, is Airto, who is one of the pioneers of this medium and art form.
Thank you very much. I like to thank you for the opportunity.
You have been deeply involved with this music all of your life. What has it done for us in America, and how has it changed the complexion of the music itself?
Well, I mean, Brazilian music had influenced American music to the extent of getting influenced by American music itself. I think it's an exchange, it's a musical exchange that is happening right now that is very strong. And we definitely understanding each other much better musically now.
Incidentally, you were composer along with Flora Purim of this composition performed by Flora called Birds of Paradise, and you write a lot of music. There is a colony in Ipanema, isn't there, Airto, that was kind of legendary with Jobim and others. Has that geography changed, and is there still as much music being composed in that area?
Well, actually, that was just a song that talked about the girl from Ipanema.
Yes.
It's not really a community that plays that particular kind of music, or Ipanema is just a section of the beach where the song says the girl from Ipanema used to walk.
Yes, I remember that imagery, but it seemed to me that there was a segment of that area that had a few composers, but I'm wrong about that. Is that right?
Well, from that era, yeah, of course. I mean, no, you're right. It's just was not really a place in Brazil where certain kind of music was played. And but music from from that era, you still hear that kind of music in different places today. So I think it was very influential to the American music.
Now, today we find that more of the acoustic instruments are being somewhat replaced by the electronic. How do you feel about that? For example, string synthesizers, bass synthesizers, and the digital and the MIDIs. And does it enhance the music?
Well, I think it depends how you use. It could enhance the music, and it could put some elements on the music that is not needed. Also, depends. It's machines on on their own, they don't operate by themselves. You see, like people, they have to operate them, and that's up to the people, to the musicians or arrangers or whatever, how much they're going to use of that. So that's my opinion. Which it's okay.
I wanted to draw that out of you to see if it was okay with you to take almost a sacred kind of culture and replace it with synthesizers and drum machines, as opposed to those wonderful human attachments, the drums themselves, without any electronic enhancement.
Yeah, well, I don't use any electronics myself. I never did. Especially live. I mean, you play a song or you play a sound and you want to hear that. You don't want to hear distorted or whatever. So I am not responsible for any of those changes that that happened. Already happened, and it's unavoidable. Certain things, they are unavoidable because they are right there in front of us, to see it. So, but we don't have to do it. I just my way to play my percussion is still like pretty much. I mean, it's much more complete but today, because I have much more stuff, and also my sensitivity for music, it grew so much, and I had learned so much, and I had played with so many people that they're great musicians and everything. And so I think all the experience that I have today, if I don't use any electronics in my setup today, is because I don't really think it's necessary.
Now to the compositions. For example, this last composition, Bird of Paradise, you collaborated on that, but what is the true theme and story behind Bird of Paradise?
Well, you see, unfortunately, you don't have our latest stuff. I mean, there are so many albums after that, and also we have a band that apparently so far you didn't mention the name of the band, which is Fourth World. And Fourth World is it's an incredible band that we have for almost 4 years now, and it's just 4 people, me and Flora and another 2 musicians, and we make very very new kind of music, and we use lots of elements of nature, and I think is very well mixed with keyboards, and Flora uses also some electronic devices that changes the sounds, or makes it repetitions, and so on and so on. So it's a pretty elaborated and powerful little band that we have. And so we have an album that I'll be glad to send it to you, when we finish this interview. If you give me an address, I could send our latest album of Fourth World, which is our band.
And you might mention what label it's on too.
Well, it's a European label. It's called B&W. It has nothing to do with the automobile. Okay, it's just B&W. They make speakers also. They are like, and they have a record label, which is a very creative label, which gives the musicians, total freedom to do, to create, to produce themselves, and to call whoever they want, to play with them, and etc., etc. It's a great label, and it's being distributed now by Tower Records at the moment. It's going out right now. But I'll send you a copy. I mean, I'll be glad to do it.
Well, we'd welcome it, and I regret that we're not up to date on it, but that will pique the curiosity of our listeners, and I really appreciate you bringing us up to date on your work and your group.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's in certain areas. United States is such a huge country that in certain areas, our band is really hot. I mean, New York, our band is hot. Everybody knows our band, Fourth World, there. Also, the West Coast, like San Francisco, Los Angeles, Chicago. We just played Boston, and there are many places that we had played already with this band on these 3 years. But unfortunately, that the area that you are right now, we hadn't played yet with this band, but we will, and it's going to be great.
And we eagerly look forward to you exposing us to your very special programming, your composition, and your band.
Oh, I told you, I do appreciate for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, and we have a date with you on November 11th.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. And we'll meet you at the Ordway Theater with Mongo Santa Maria and Pancho Sanchez.
That's right.
And Flora Purim. Thank you, Airto. It's a pleasure meeting you.
All right. Bye-bye.